Welcome to my fifth song log and the fifth song I ever wrote, and I'm excited to show you this one since it's been a long time favorite of mine, and I do have some old recordings to compare the final version against. It's so rewarding to compare against your past self. You can hear the difference in quality and the progress you've made over the years. To just start recording my songs, even though I knew I had 1,000 things to improve on them, had really been a great recipe for me to improve my craft as a producer. Just listen and compare this recording I made 5 years ago versus the final version. The actual composing of the song hasn't changed at all, so I consider myself quite decent at songwriting, or at least in the music style that I like, but it's clear that I was lacking in recording and bringing the song to life. I have been struggling with playing tight guitars and keeping a consistent tempo ever since I started out playing the guitar, and this was painfully obvious to me when I started to record myself and could just hear how sloppy my playing was. Especially after I learned that you should double track the guitars and recordings to create this huge sound, so you create one recording with the guitar all the way to the right and another panned all the way to the left, and any small indifference in them will just make the whole recording sloppy and muddy. Listen to these old sloppy recordings. I think it's quite clear here what I'm talking about. To fix this issue, I just did the one thing that everyone says that you should do: buy a metronome and practice to a click. Also, just recording myself and listen critically to every recording to reflect on where I could improve, what was good, what was bad, really helped me improve as a guitarist. Last year, when I wanted to learn how to scream, I started recording myself right away because I knew that was the fastest way to get the sound that I wanted. Here's a recording of me when I tried to scream this very song 6 months ago, and honestly, I just think it sounds like an angry goblin. And here is another recording just 1 month before that, so 7 months ago, and it's even worse. Okay, I will cut it short there, so we don't need to listen more to that. But it is clear to me that even in the first month, I do see a progress even though both of them are bad. So my point still stands that recording yourself is awkward and cringe, but it is a very fast way to learn how to improve. And I just kept doing that, recording myself, listening to it, critiquing, studying, reflecting, and then 6 months later I'm at the stage where I am right now. It's still not perfect, but I think it's miles better than it was just a half year ago. I must give a huge shout out to Sibyl Extreme Vocals, for whose guides I've been following to learn how to scream. I hope he approves of my progress so far. Okay, let's get back to the song. We basically heard the chorus already, so let's break it down even more. I'm trying out a few different things throughout this song, one of them being a more intensive drum programming with 16ths on the kick drum. This, I think, really spices up the chorus, and on the guitars I'm doing a very nice melody that turned into a quite fun finger exercise. Let's build up the chorus piece by piece. Another experiment I've tried with this song is on the verses. Previously, I've made the verses quite simple and low-key to not stand out too much, to let the vocals through and then to have a build-up for the choruses. But here I'm using more melody and more layers even on the verses, and I think it works fine just because we have these intensive drums on the chorus. The last experiment on this track is to add more synths than I've done previously. I have tried a little bit of synth in my previous song, but here in this one I'm doing it even more. To have a little bit of variation, I did try to add some flute sounds on the first bridge. This accompanies the vocal screaming to add this illusion of the screams having more of a melody than it actually has. The chorus did get the main melody on the synth as well, just because I felt it wasn't really coming through as much as I wanted, and I don't want to reduce the distortion on the guitars because I really like the sound of it. The same synth melody for a chorus is also used for the outro, but here I'm adding another layer to get some more atmosphere in it. I think the sound creates a cool atmosphere and it relieves a bit of this high-intensive heavy metal that goes throughout the song for a much-needed breather at the end. To sum it up, I have the exact same setup now that I did 5 years ago, and the only real difference is that I've learned a little bit more on how to use the tools that I have. And with that, let's listen to this 5th song I ever wrote all the way back in 2009. It's called Come My Breaking Point. Enjoy.